Jack, game 304. How proud are you to break this record?
Yeah, extremely. Again, I think we've spoken about it before. It wasn't something that I imagined I would ever do or could ever do when I first signed at the club. So, like I said before, being at this point now, it's an extremely proud moment for me, and I think there's a lot of kind of hard work that goes into it behind the scenes in terms of looking after your body, being able to preserve your career for a long time. There's a lot of stuff in the background that goes into it. So yeah, it's a very, very proud and exciting moment for me.
Breaking Matt Mackay's record, a bloke that you've played a lot with. What's that like going past him, and how has he reacted to this milestone?
So far, I saw him last week at the game. He's been extremely supportive. Like you said, we've played together for quite a long time. In my mind, he's always going to be, the legend of this club with his success as well. But yeah, again, just being in that conversation alongside, the likes of Matt Mackay and some of the other guys that were on that list of the appearances for the club, Thomas Broish, Enrique, Massimo Madoka, all those players, again, is something that it's kind of a bit surreal for me and something I'm extremely proud of.
Going back, all the way to when you started your A-League career, did you sort of ever expect you'd get here? And what are some of your early memories, starting out in the competition?
Yeah, obviously I started my career at North Queensland Fury, so that was, again, exciting for me to get that first contract when I did start. And then when they folded, it kind of went back to square one again. So when Ange Postecoglou gave me the opportunity to sign at Brisbane, it was, again, something that I didn't want to just let pass me by. So again, it's something that I've really focused on making sure I'm there every day, giving everything, every session, trying to improve every day. And I think that's probably the main reason why I'm still standing here today. But yeah, I think, for me, when I signed at Brisbane Roar, they'd already won their first premiership. So we're obviously the club to be at, the best team in the league. So it was, again, when the opportunity came up for me to join Brisbane Roar, it was something that I was always going to take up.
If you had to pick one moment, what's been the best of your 304 games?
Ooh, I think there's probably a couple that stand out for me. In terms of milestones, probably my first goal for the club. That was away at Adelaide. Obviously, we talk about the championships, but I think for me, one of my favourite games was when we won the premiership at Suncorp, playing at home. I think it was against Melbourne Victory. That's probably one of my best memories, I would say.
And then what flipping the coin, what's been the biggest challenge during your time here?
I think for me, obviously being here throughout the success, and then kind of going through the ups and downs that we've had obviously recently. I know where we want to be as a club, as a team, as players and as fans. I know how important it is, especially with our history that we have. So I think just the ups and downs of, the past few years in terms of the success, and that's something I've always wanted to try and help us get back to. So I think, that's probably been the toughest part. And just again, I think obviously maintaining my body and looking after my body to allow me to continue my career for this long. Yeah.
And you've been here 14 seasons now.
Yeah.
Been a huge part of your life. How has the club sort of helped shape you as a person?
Yeah, I think obviously the club is a massive part of my life and my family's life. I don't know much else, to be honest, other than Brisbane Roar at the moment. It's kind of what I've been living the last 14 years. And one of the things I think I love about the club is kind of our community that we have, that family feel that we have, and I guess especially recently kind of being those underdogs a little bit and having to do the extras and the extra work and the extra little bits and pieces. Obviously we don't have the most money in the league and that kind of thing, so there's other ways that we kind of work together to help get us to where we need to be. So I think just kind of having that going on in the background is something that's kind of helped shape me as a person as well.
Mm-hmm. And then you're one of the more experienced heads in this group now. Obviously we're a very young team this year, a lot of guys coming through. What's it sort of been like being one of the older players and helping these young guys come through this season? Yeah,
there's not, I guess, many senior players around anymore at the moment. So I think I've obviously tried to kind of step up and help out where I can. I try and always be there for anyone who needs me. So any of the young boys, any of the players, I'm sure they feel that they can come to me when they need to, and I'll always do my best to help as much as I can. So yeah, I've obviously tried to be that type of person. So if anyone needs anything, needs some advice or needs some help, I'll always put my hand up and be there for everyone. So again, it's actually been exciting to see some of the young players come through as a senior player. And thinking about myself when I was younger as well, and kind of how important the senior players that I had around me when I was coming through as a young player, and I still remember them all now. I still remember the conversations that I had with those senior players. So yeah, definitely something that I obviously try and help out with the young boys as well.
Being now, in your mid-30s, are you sort of eyeing off, what you might do post-football and what you'd like to do and why?
Yeah, I think at the moment I'm still obviously focused on football mainly. Like I said, I've looked after myself pretty well. And I think I'm getting the benefits now of all the work that I did when I was a younger player. And this is what I say to the younger boys, all the work that I did and the extra stuff that I did looking after my body as a younger player has probably allowed me to continue my career for this long. And hopefully there's still a few more years to go of me playing football. But at the same time, I've also tried to do quite a bit of study during my time, and a few things with businesses and that kind of thing outside of football. So I think it's important to have something going on outside football even while you are young. And I do say that to the young boys as well. So I've definitely tried to keep myself busy and obviously got a few different qualifications outside of football and tried to do as much study as possible, just to put myself in a good position for when that time does come to finish playing. I think I'll be ready to try and move into something.
And what is it that you've been studying?
Oh, I've done quite a bit. So I've done throughout my career. I've started off doing like real estate license. I've done personal training. I've done diploma of business. I've done a graduate diploma of sports administration. I'm currently doing project management at the moment, and I've got a business running on the side as well. So I've kind of tried to do quite a lot of different things just to keep my options open as well. And again, I think while you're playing, having something else outside of football definitely helps you on the pitch as well, because I think you need to have something else to be able to focus on when you do get away from football. You need to have that bit of time to switch off and focus on something else as well. I think that's helped me in my career.
And before you focus on anything beyond football, we've got Melbourne City on Friday night. What's sort of the outlook ahead of that match?
Yeah, look, they're a very dangerous team. They've got some very dangerous players, as we know. I think us as a team, our probably biggest advantage is how together we are as a team, as a club, as a group. And if you break down our performances, we've actually been performing quite well and playing some really good football. It's just these key moments that we really need to focus on. And I think if we can obviously fix those small moments, well, not small moments, but those small things that end up being big moments in games, then we're in a pretty good position. Last time we went down there, I think we lost 1-0, but for the majority of the game we were quite good and performing quite well. So if we can do a bit of that again, as well as just focusing on those key moments, I think we're in a pretty good position.
And if we do go down there and get those little things right and get the 3 points, how big are the celebrations going to be for your milestone match with a win?
Yeah, I think it'll be great. Obviously, I think the most important thing for me in terms of the milestone game would would just love to have a win. The most important thing for me is as a team for us to get results and be successful. So. Yeah, regardless of the milestone, I think the thing that I would love the most is just getting the 3 points and getting a good win down in Melbourne.